Page 88, the tap dancer. They got some stuff at the top here with this is like a percussion notation, written notation for drums and so forth. What they want you to do, there's no pitch is what I'm saying, it's just rhythm. So they put a little X's, and they're not really on a staff anywhere. In this piece, they're putting them between the staffs. Sometimes there'll be a line by itself and they'll be on that line. It's not a pitch, it's just rhythm. And they're telling you that you can use the wood above the keyboard as a drum, sort of, and play that rhythm. And they're telling you LR, LR for left hand, right hand, left hand, right hand. Got problems with that? I'll come back to it. So let's just go through this piece and we'll talk about it. Got one flat, all the B's are going to be flatted, but there's accidentals all over the place. At the beginning, we have this chromatic passage. Right hand goes up, left hand goes down. It looks ugly. It's not. Let's look at it. I'll show you why. Remember the hands like to mirror each other? Well, that's what they're doing in this passage. You'll play white notes at the same time, you'll play black notes at the same time, and you use the same fingers. It's not so bad. Doesn't always work out that way, but in this piece it is. So at the beginning, in both hands, we're here, and then F, B, and you just follow each one, and you're going to find that the hands mirror each other all the way. It's just a chromatic passage. And you can end on a thumb or fourth finger. It's up to you at the end. So that's it. So forget the rhythm, just the notes. Etc. Then put in the rhythm. Triplets. 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. A lot of triplets. Even this tapping is a triplet. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and blah 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 blah. Right hand, second line. You're here. Staccato. Nice light finger staccato. If you want to use a wrist staccato instead, that's fine, because you got to use a wrist like on the second measure, second line. A wrist staccato. Watch the fingering there. On the triplets in the second measure, it's a G sharp. So you got fourth finger on the B flat. Now, it's up to you. You can experiment and see what you think, but there's a difference between a triplet rhythm and a dotted rhythm. So if you've got, let's look at the second line on page 88, second measure right hand. The last beat is a triplet, 4 and a, 4 and a, and then it goes into a 1, 4 and a 1. Then in the last measure, those are dotted rhythms, 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a. So the idea is, on a dotted rhythm, the short note is shorter than any of the triplet notes. So it's here. Now most people, including me, will skip all that and you feel it. And you'll end up playing all these dotted rhythms as triplets. So it's this way. That's a triplet. Ba-da-da, 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 ba-da-da. It's written. Technically, we probably should be doing dotted rhythms, but I'm guessing we'll just do triplets throughout. Know you're doing it. That's the point. You know, because, well, I'm improvising here. I want to feel this rhythm, and if you're going to do this triplet stuff, then I'm going to do all these dotted rhythms as triplets. I mean, it just makes sense. I'm not going to go back and forth like that. So I'm going to do triplets. You can do whichever. I just need you to know that you know we're changing the rhythm from what's written. First ending at the bottom, at the end of it, there's an 8 VA because there's a note there when you go back. Second time, you're going to play it an octave higher. And then the second ending, when you come down here, no 8 VA. So the last line on page 88, second time around, that F is up here. But then the second ending, you're here. going on. Now, page 89, first measure. Their fingering is okay, but I prefer this. I'm going to start out the same with the first 3 beats, except on the G, instead of a 2, I'm going to use a 4. That puts me in position for what's coming here. I'm going to use this fingering wherever else it occurs, like in the next line. And then going up, their fingering is okay. Remember the staccatos? Again, their fingering. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 2, 3, 1. Got to be natural. Now, starting with the triplets at the end of the second line on page 88, it's here. The left hand's playing the other notes. Don't worry about them. Just remember you lift up. This is like a 2-note slur again. You go, except it's a triplet. And then going on, you're down here in the third line. It's supposed to be soft, but hey, it's fun. And then you're going to do the triplet and go back to the sign on page 88. Left hand staccato, light wrist staccato. It's up to you. No big deal on the staccatos. Over on page 89, second line, last measure. This is where the left hand goes up and helps the right hand out. The left hand on the last beat of that measure is playing those notes, the F and the A flat. Here, it's like a 2-note slur. I find it easier if I finger these 3-2 for the F A flat, and then I 4-1 for the EG. So the 2 hands together, going on, same thing, an octave lower. That's what I recommend. That's pretty much it. Now I'm putting the hands together. Let's look at this mess. I've already talked about the introduction. Now when you get to the tapping part, I have a little problem with their tapping thing, because in the first line they have LR, means left, right. So you're going to start with left, right, left, right. The problem I have with it is that each time they have this little thing, the notes that need to be played are in the right hand, and that's the hand you just used to tap with. So you got to get it down where you got to go. Not a lot of time. So I'm recommending that we switch that around for these, and we do it start with the right hand, and that way you're going to end with the left hand. That way you can immediately come down with the right hand and get ready to play. So that first line, medium soft, sort of, and both hands are the same. You know, there is no melody here. Put a natural accent at the beginning of each triplet. We want to hear a 1, 2, 3, 4. No. Now there's a note at the beginning of light and detached. That's not for everything. Don't think you got to play everything light and detached. I would not play the triplets light and detached. You can play them light, but you don't need to detach them. And then go on. This part is light and detached. Again, right. Start with the right hand. That way you're ready to go on. You got your right hand ready to play. Now at the bottom, when you have this long one, it doesn't matter which way you go. You want to do theirs, that's fine. Because both hands are playing. It's accented. And then there's an 8 VA, so when you play this the second time, you're going to play it an octave higher for the right hand. The left hand stays where it's at, so it's up here. Like so. Going on to page 89. Now, the right hand's legato pretty much. So it's the left hand that's staccato. Now again, it's right, left. So here. And when you go back to the DS, you're local. You're not up. You're just ready. Then you go to the coda. And then now we have this chromatic thing, 2 octaves. Put a little accent on each beat. And the last measure, the right hand goes up an octave here. The left hand goes down an octave here. It's very soft. It's like you almost don't hear it. And that's the piece. As far as the speed it goes, that's up to you. It says not fast. As molto means a whole bunch. Molto moderato is very moderately. So don't speed this up. This is not intended to be a fast piece. It's fast. It's not intended to be a fast piece. So have fun with it. That's what it's for.